Hello, welcome to Scratch 3D Printing. In this video, I'm going to show you how to take off the extruder on the Anycubic Kobra S1 Max and unclog it. Let's scratch today's troubleshoot. The other day, I was printing the poop chute bin for the Kobra S1 Max. If you haven't seen the video, I'll leave a link down below. And unfortunately, I got a clog on the extruder. I'm not sure why. I was printing with PETG and all of a sudden it couldn't extrude, so I was like, what is happening? So today I'm going to take off the extruder on the Kobra S1 Max and show you the process of how I do it. Let's get right into it. First of all, you need two types of Allen wrench. I believe this is the 2.0 Allen wrench and this may be the 1.5 size Allen wrench, but you need two, a smaller one and a bigger one. The first thing you want to do is, of course, take off this cover. So that's just hold on by magnets. Oh, and also have your Kobra S1 Max power turned off because we are going to be disconnecting a couple wires. This is going to be the best angle I can do because if I do any more up, it's going to show the 3D printer up here and it's going to block the view. So let's get right into it. Okay, the first thing we need to do is take off this screw on the right hand side, one screw on the left hand side, and the bottom left screw on the left hand side as well. You do not need to take off this or this screws. These screws has blue Loctite and they are these tiny one. Okay, now that we got all three screw off, we can go ahead and take off this whole thing. But be careful because this is attached by the wire for the fan. So what I recommend is take this wire off because it's a really easy connector. It's just a 4-pin connector. So hold on to the plastic piece and just take this off like that. If you want, you can leave it hanging, but I'm just going to take it off. Take a closer look at this. I'm going to zoom in here. This is how the extruder inside of the Kobra S1 Max looks like. The next thing we need to do is take off this cutter on the extruder. So for that, we need to take 1, 2, 3 screw off. So for the filament cutter, it uses these type of screw. Okay, once we have all 3 screw off, we can just go ahead and take this piece off. Right here is the blade cutting the filament. The next thing we need to do is take off 3 more screw, which is the one right here, one right here, and the last one is right here. So let's go ahead and take off those screws. So for the screw holding on the plastic, it uses these type of screws. Once we have all 3 screws off, this should just come off easily. Just kind of wiggle and it will come off. Oh, and I forgot to mention, if you have your PTFE tube still connected, you just want to press down this coupler and release your PTFE tube. Okay, so once we are here, as you can see, I have a filament that is making this not come out. So what I'm going to be doing is use a plier and cut that filament right there. Cut it flush with the heatsink tube there. If I can do it, don't want to damage anything else. It would be so much better if you don't have any filament in here. Okay, there we go. I did it. I twist this thing and it's off now. So let's throw away that small filament. And now we can remove this with ease. Look at that. Okay, now that we have this, you want to take off this board right here. It's just a sliding board. So let's take that off. Now we can take off this whole cover. What I recommend is take off this wire right here as well. It's just a 3-pin connector, so it's easy to connect. Just hold the plastic piece and just kind of wiggle and take this off. Just like that. The whole extruder front is gonna come off like this. We take a look right here. This is the motor gear that drives this gear right here and make the whole system work. This is a helical gear. And this is also a helical gear, which is really cool. Okay, let's go ahead and disassemble this. The next thing is to take off this screw, and this screw down here. This screw right here is for the filament tensioner, so you don't really need to take that off unless there's something wrong with it. Then you should take that off as well. But for this, we're just gonna take this off. I am gonna show you how to disassemble everything and then how to put everything back together as well. So for this, the screw that is used is these type of screws right here. They are smaller, shorter screw. Now once you have all these 3 screws removed, you can just go ahead and pry this open. You can see that there's a seam running through here. you can just pry this open. If you cannot do it with your fingernails or with your hand, use the butt of a tweezer and then just kind of go through here. Just kind of slice this and kind of pry open a little bit. Do it carefully because you don't want to break the whole thing, and you cannot really break anything at this point. There we go. We got the front piece off. This is a small bearing in there. So if we take a look at that, whoa, look at that. There's the piece of filament in there. Take a look at that. That is the clog in there. In order to unclog that, we just need to take off this gear right here, which maybe I can pry this out. Kind of hold everything like this so that once you pry this out, it does not fly and you do not lose anything that's in here. If this does not work, what you can do is push in the filament tensioner and then try to pry this off like that, and sometime it should come off. Whoa, look at that. So if we take a look at this, it seems that the filament came from the top and then it went onto the side over here, which is interesting. That is PETG. Okay, so I guess maybe I can just push this out. Okay, well, it seems that this is a little bit too big, so I guess I'll just have to take off the spring tensioner right here. So let's go ahead and take off this spring tensioner, and I will show you how to put everything back together. So for this, it use these kind of screws with the small blue Loctite. Now that we have the screw off, we want to pop out this spring. So what I'm going to do is pop upward, but I'm going to pop it sideways and have my hand holding it like this, so that once I pop this, the spring does not fly out. There we go. Can't really show, but there we go. And then it consists of this and the spring. Now that we have this, and this can go back and forth easier, can we just pry this out? What I'm going to do is I'm going to pry out this lever right here. There's a small screw right here. If you try and pry this out like this, you may damage the screw. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove this screw right here from this plastic piece, and then it will release this. And now I can put my tweezer down here, which is kind of solid, and I can kind of pry this out. While pushing the lever towards the left. There we go. Oh my gosh, there we go. We got this lever out, and we can now get rid of this filament. Oh my goodness. It's just this small piece of filament went the wrong way. Let's clean everything inside here. Just a quick blow and everything should come up. Okay, so if you are at this point and like, how do I put everything back together? Well, what I'm going to show you is disassemble this even further and show you guys more of this extruder right here. So if we take off these two screws right here, we are going to be able to get inside of the filament sensor. The filament sensor is built into this plastic piece in here, which I found is pretty nice, to be very honest, because if Anycubic did not make this plastic piece right here, which can just be pried out really easy like this, if Anycubic did not make this small piece of filament sensor inside of this enclosure here, you can see that there's a small spring in here. If I put in the tweezer here, you can see that the mechanic runs like that. The filament goes in here, then this lever triggers saying that there is filament in here. This is the filament runout sensor, which is nice that they made it into this small enclosure. So once you have these two taken apart like this and you pry open, the small spring inside here does not just pop out, which is nice so that we don't have to deal with the small spring. Unlike on the Kobra S1, on the S1 Max, they made it into two pieces. Okay, once you have everything like this, I'm going to show you how to put it back together. The first thing, we are going to put this plastic piece back. So what you want to do is, if we look right here, there is going to be a small hole that is going to go into that hole right here. It's just going to sit nicely like this. And now let's screw this back in. You don't want to screw much because it may ruin the thread, so you just want to make it tight. Do not over tight this, because this is not going to go anywhere. So that's one screw, and then another screw is up here. I'm not quite sure what this screw is for, to be honest. Maybe locking in the piece together, right? What is this screw for? Maybe locking this piece with this piece. And now let's put the small cover here back again. Now that we have this, we want to put in the filament gear in there. But this is interesting because if we look at this filament gear right here, this one is smooth. It does not have any teeth in there. And if we look at the other one, it has teeth which can grip the filament. Usually Extruder have two of these, but for the Kobra S1 Max, Anycubic decided to use one side smooth and the other side has teeth. So these mesh together like this. And I guess this is their way of making it so that it can use flexible filament as well, or I don't know, I'm not sure. These two gears are locked together. Okay, let's put in the lever first. You can see that there's a rod right here. You can just connect it to this hole right here and just put the lever back like that. Now, here comes the hard part, is the spring. So the spring is gonna be sitting inside right there. That's where the spring is gonna go. And it's gonna attach to this heated inserter right there. So we want to put this piece, or this head piece, or whatever this piece is called, onto the side of the spring like that. And to get this in, I like to hold it like this again. Put the end of the spring into this hole like that, and then you just push this in while pushing it down at the same time. If your finger is too big and does not work, use the butt of a tweezer. Just push this thing in while you're holding everything like this. And then it should just go in very easily. There we go. Once it's like that, just push it down. There we go. It's in there. That is very easy to do. And now we can just use the screw, lock this in there. Just do it all the way because this is not adjustable. There we go. And just to test, it's working fine. Okay, now that we have this in there, let's go ahead and put in the second filament gear. I just call this filament gear because it's a gear for the filament. So we're just gonna be putting this in like this, and that is good. There we go. We have finished. If you want to manually test this, you can put in the filament and then just spin this gear. And there we go. It's working. Now let's put on the other cover. So it will go in like this. And then make sure that it's all the way in like that. And now we can just put all the 3 screws back. Right here, and right here. Also, do not over tight this. You just want it to be snug. Okay, once we have this, just test this again to make sure that it spins smoothly along with the lever. Everything seems good. Now, let's put this back. What I recommend do first is you want to plug in the wire on the left hand side here first. So this is going to go in like this. Let's go ahead and plug in this black wire here first because it'll be difficult to do later on. There we go. Got it in. And now you just want to put this in there. Just kind of wiggle it to make sure that the gear is lined up. And make sure that it sits very nicely in there without moving. Now that we have this, let's go ahead and slide in this board into the slot right here. Let's go ahead and do that. So there we go. That is in there. Now that we have both of that in there, let's go ahead and screw in all the screw back. So for this, you will need to screw in 1 screw, 2 screw, and the 3rd screw is going to be down here. For those, it will be these screws. Do not over tight, just make it snug. Okay, now that we have that, let's go ahead and put the filament cutter so that it secures in this board right here. It's going to use this screw. Now that we have this filament cutter in there, let's go ahead and put in the fan right here. So let's go ahead and connect the fan first before we screw in anything. There we go. Make sure that it's in there. Just need to put this fan in like that. It's gonna sit very nicely. Let's go ahead and screw in 2 screws on the left and then 1 screw on the right. And then for that, it will use this small screw with the blue lock tied. There we go. Now that we have everything screwed in, everything should be tight. Let's just test the fan to see if it's still spinning. Still spins. The last thing to do is put in the magnetic cover. Voila, we are finished. The extruder has been solved, unclogged, and now it's ready for printing again. As you saw there are a couple of screws that you have to take off before you can get to the extruder, and it was just one little piece of filament like this that was clogged inside of the filament gear, and I just take this piece right out, and now we are back and printing with the Kobra S1 Max. This 3D printer has been really amazing. I've been printing many different types of filament, and it works really well. Along with multicolor printing, it has been working amazingly. Every single 3D printer is gonna clog. Does not matter which brand, does not matter how good the 3D printer is, it would eventually clog up. And the Kobra S1 Max has been really great. Been printing for such a long time and now just got one clog. Hopefully there's no more clog in the future. But that'd be it for this video. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe because more amazing videos like this is coming. And if you haven't yet become a member of the YouTube channel, it helps me tremendously. And as always, keep on 3D printing.